Okay, welcome to the second session in our Step Up campaign. So excited about everything that we're offering all the Web Center owners, but more importantly, excited about what we can offer our clients. I know last week we discussed reaching out to your existing clients as well as some candidates that maybe you've met with previously as a way to follow up, but we're really talking about building share of customer or adding more value into their digital marketing program. So I know many website clients are looking for an enhancement with maybe search engine optimization, maybe Google AdWords or something more robust. But also what we're going to talk about this week is how to increase content marketing, engagement, as well as reputation and reputation management. So although we're reaching out to all of our candidates and our clients over these next 2 weeks, doing a massive follow-up campaign to help them with their businesses, really we had to break down these sessions into different segments in order to really understand the power of lead generation through the search engines as well as through social sites like Facebook with their advertising campaign. And now this week we're going to talk a little bit more about engagement and how they can continue that loyal customer following over their campaign once they get customers on board, once they get candidates to their website and they start that relationship. What can they do further to increase the relationship or keep the relationship going to do exactly what we're doing, right? We're continuing to add value to our clients and we want our clients to do exactly the same thing. So let's talk a little bit about what makes a strong digital marketing campaign. Well, certainly the centerpiece of everything is the website, right? The website is the online storefront or where everything goes in terms of traffic. All the content goes there, all the lead generation goes there, everything is there. And we can't replace a website with a social media site like a Facebook page or a LinkedIn profile or a Twitter profile or an Instagram channel. Certainly social media is important, but right now we have to make sure that our clients understand the power of having a website, right? So from the website, it branches out, and what are we doing? We're driving traffic from different channels, right? First being the search engines, right? Search engine optimization. Other marketing and advertising they're doing is going to be focused on leading people to the website. Social media, of course. How about having some additional support for the website? Content being so critical to a successful website. Having a portfolio of services available on the website, blogging, and of course chat forums and things like that. But everything really drives traffic to that website. So when we talk about stepping it up, we're talking about adding more value. So again, lead generation and traffic comes from search engine optimization, search engine marketing with paid advertising on Google, as well as Facebook advertising to drive traffic to either a Facebook page or the website. And of course, we've got foot store traffic that we drive with Shop Local here in the US. Now, also, social media and engagement becomes a very powerful topic. So let's talk a little bit more about this tonight. We're talking about email marketing and ongoing communication and content marketing. Certainly social media management and being on the social channels and how to engage with their clients. And then online reputation management. What's being said out there on the internet, different review sites, different listing sites, as well as on social channels, what information is being said about certain products, services, businesses, employees, brand names, keywords, so on and so forth. So we talked a little bit about this last week, but we have to remember that everything that we do, whether it's the unfranchised business, whether it's retailing, or it's about digital marketing, everything comes down to these 5 C's, right? We need to have a candidate list or a client list or a leads list, right? A names list. From there, we need to be able to do some research, either on our clients or our candidates or our prospects. We got to do a little bit of digging, a little bit of research to find out why they might be looking for something that they don't currently have. And then we're going to contact them. How we're going to invite them, how we're going to approach them, how we're going to talk to these people about a product, service, or solution. And from there, we're going to conduct a consultation and really propose a solution. In our case, the solution is simply an appointment with a product specialist that can talk to them a little bit more about the products and services that we can offer in digital marketing to help fill in their gaps with their marketing strategy and certainly propose pricing at that point. And that's our close right there. So what does it do? We're talking about adding more value. We got to promote what we have to offer and ask them. We got to ask them for the sale. So the whole process last week and this week and ongoing when we're talking about following up and following through is to kind of go through this process. We're going to initiate conversation. And how can we do that? Well, you can simply just reach out and contact someone. You can email them, certainly. You can text them. If it's a colder contact that you haven't been in touch with for a while, you might want to subtly send them an email first to warm up the conversation. But certainly you can send an email campaign as a reason to follow up. and you're going to do some research, right? What research should we be doing? We should look at their Google listings. We should be looking at their social media sites, specifically Facebook or say Instagram, and certainly any review sites that might be out there as well. We got to look at some reviews that might be on the internet related to their business or their competitors. And then nothing is going to happen if we don't contact them. So we've got to contact them. And with a client, it's very easy because you can simply say, hey, I'd like to review your program and talk about business. I want to talk to you about what's been going on, what's going well, where are some improvements, what are your goals for the rest of the year? Are there any new services that you're looking to tap into or market? And I'd like to help you and learn a little bit more about how we can kind of partner on some of that together. So you're going to contact them. With an existing client, like I said, it's very easy to reach out and say, hey, I'd like to get together and talk about your program. If it's a candidate that maybe you presented to or you contacted in the past, again, you can say, hey, I'd like to just follow up. We talked maybe 3 months ago or 6 months ago. I wanted to revisit what we talked about, but also I want to learn a little bit more about your goals and your initiatives and where you are now, and talk to you a little bit about some other products and services that might be a better fit for you than what we proposed in the past. Again, it's just an excuse or a reason to get back in touch with them. And lastly, if it's a candidate that you haven't had any engagement with and you're just getting started as a web center owner, you can use that same line. I've done some research and I'd like to talk to you a little bit more about your business and find out what you're currently doing, what your goals are, and see if there's a way that we can potentially work together to help you increase revenue and decrease expenses, right? Can't guarantee that line's going to get you an appointment, but it's better than nothing. And it's a great way to just subtly introduce your business. From there, we're going to do a consultation, right? And we've got the 15-minute consultation, the assessment sheets. They're fantastic. You're going to use the digital and social media marketing assessment, as well as some of the research that you've done that you can share with the candidate or the client. From there, you're going to promote what we offer by walking them through the B2B catalog, showcasing, your recommendations based on the research that I've done. I think you might be interested in learning more about social media management, or I'd like to talk to you a little bit more about search engine optimization so you can rank in the search engines. Based on what I found and what you've shared with me, I think you might be interested in learning more about online reputation management, right? And you can go right through the B2B catalog and showcase those pages to give them some information. But you can also use some of the resources available that we've made available to everyone through our blogs, through our email campaigns, as well as through our YouTube channel, right? Don't be afraid to share some of that content with your candidates and your clients. You can address other needs at that point that might come up in the conversation, right? So let them know that you'd like to be considered for any of their marketing initiatives and to help them grow. It's all about timing. It might not be the right time right now, but in the future, if you're looking to grow or you're looking to change up some of your marketing, or you're looking for a robust search campaign, or if you're looking to really tap into social media, I would love the opportunity to talk to you more about that when that time comes. Would you mind if I followed up with you? Right? Ask permission. And in most cases, they're going to say, no, that's great. And you can ask them, should I give you a month or 3 months? When would be the best time to follow up with you? And get their permission and put it in your calendar to contact them when they told you would be a good time to follow up. From here, you're going to book an appointment with our product specialist to do a DMP demo, or it could be a website demo. And from there, you're going to follow up, right? So you're going to use the resources to continue to add what? Value. Offer other ideas and to increase revenue and decrease expenses. So really just get to know them. It's all about building the relationship and what's in it for them. What is the best thing for them? If they've got a great website, don't stop there. Say, how are they marketing it? How are you driving traffic? Commend them on that great website. Commend them on the decision that they need a responsive mobile website, right? Congratulate them on what they're doing well. Find out where there might be areas of improvement and consult with them, right? You don't want to go in and say, this is what's best for me, so this is what I want to sell you. And because they can feel that and they don't want that. They're getting bombarded every single day with sales professionals trying to sell them services. And in many cases, these are professionals from the other side of the country that know nothing about their local market, know nothing about their community, know nothing about them as a business. And they're just randomly calling 400, 500 clients a week trying to sell them whatever service it is that they're pitching. So you want to be different. You want to be the local representative that builds a relationship in the local community to help increase revenue and decrease expenses, and find a way to network and refer business as well. And that will get your foot in the door, 80% of the time. right? So we talked a little bit about the email marketing campaigns that our clients have access to, but you as a Web Center owner and a Web Center Pro also have access to these same campaigns, right? These campaigns are beautifully done with the email templates. You can custom make your own template. You can just do a plain text email as well, but you can leverage some of the templates that are on here. In fact, there is one template for Google AdWords. It's already in here. And there's one for Facebook advertising as well. So use those emails to push out to your clients or your candidates, and then use the phone calling technique to just reach out and say, hey, I sent you an email about some Google advertising and also Facebook advertising. But more importantly, I'd like to see how your business is going and talk to you more about, your goals for the rest of 2018. Right? So use the tools and resources available. From there, what are we doing? We're looking to just book a consultation, right? It could be 10 minutes, could be 15 minutes. However, I'll tell you that when you have an existing client or customer, they're going to give you more than 15 minutes, right? Because there's already a relationship there. They know you, they like you, they trust you. Hopefully they're seeing results. They like the product that you've already provided them. They're going to be willing to sit down with you for 45 minutes or an hour. Okay. Now, a candidate that maybe you presented to that you're just following up with that hasn't done business with you yet, maybe not. Maybe they're still only going to be giving you 10 or 15 minutes, but the idea is that you're going to follow the question process exactly. Go through the digital and social media marketing assessments to help find some information, right? So use the assessment sheets, but also, last week we talked about printing search results, right? Do a search for their product or the keyword, and highlight where they're ranking, highlight where their competitors are ranking, and identify areas where they're not ranking at all on page 1 or page 2 of Google. But at the same time, find out where they're being listed, right? Do a search for their business name. Find out what listing sites they're on. Are they on Home Advisor? Are they on the Better Business Bureau? Are they on Thumbtack? Are they on the Knot? Are they on the Yellow Pages? Find out where they are located, and then you can highlight those. In fact, you might find that many of those listings are incorrect. Incorrect. In fact, last week I met with an existing client of mine. They have a website with us, and they're looking to expand more into e-commerce, which they've never done before, so it was a new conversation. But as we were doing it, we did some research, and we found some incorrect listings. We went to some of these listings, and they had the incorrect address, the wrong phone number, the wrong website address, the wrong hours of operation. So when we talked about it, we found that there is a huge need for them to clean up these listing sites either on their own, which is cumbersome and a little bit time consuming, or they could evaluate online reputation management, and that's what they're looking at right now. So we've proposed a package for them there. You can also look at the reviews. Click on the reviews. Are there positive reviews? Are there negative reviews? What's being said about their business that they might not even know? And then, of course, you're going to go to their social media site and find out what's going well for them. What are they doing well? What do you like? Hey, check mark, congratulations. I love that you are doing before and after photos. Or I love that you've got some weekly quotes on there. I love that you've got customer testimonials on there. However, I also notice that you've only posted like once every 2 weeks. In order to try and increase your search engine or your social media presence, we want to try and post more than that. Do you find that a challenge to do that? Who's doing the posting, right? It gives you something to talk about when you've got these tangible things in front of you, right? So you can use the assessment sheets, you can use your research. In a printed form, it gives you a talking point, and they can't deny what you're saying when it's right in front of them. So printed listings, printed search engine results, talk about the reviews, and also review their social media presence, right? The next thing you want to do is talk to them about what are they doing to engage or keep the conversation going with their clients or their prospects. Are they taking advantage of things like email marketing? A lot of people think that email marketing is a dinosaur and that's far and gone. However, long form marketing is coming back because the challenges with the Facebook business pages, with the challenges of the algorithms on search engines and other social sites as well. It's hard to break through the clutter to be recognized or to engage with your clients. So email marketing is actually coming back. We're seeing some higher open rates, and we're seeing some great content being developed for clients. So email marketing is something to certainly bring up. Now, that's not something that we do specifically. However, we've got the tool built into our website platform, but it could be something we talk to them about content marketing, because they may want to take advantage of email marketing, but they don't know what to write or when to write it or how to push it out, right? So let's talk a little bit more about email marketing, right? It can't just be a blast and email. It can't be spam. It's got to be a strategy, just like everything. They've got to think about their goals. They got to think about their lists. They got to think about reporting and who's opening the emails and not, who's opting out of the emails. Is there a clear branding message in the email? right? What about deliverability? Is it actually getting to the client? And when we say segmentation, we want to make sure that the right message is going to the right candidate or the right client, meaning that if you have, let's for example say a realtor sending out an email blast, they could have an email that goes out to commercial real estate clients and one for residential real estate clients. Maybe it's a salon, they could have one that goes out to style and color, and there could be one that goes towards skincare services, right? So segmenting a list increases the likelihood that an email marketing campaign will actually be opened, right? So you can ask these questions in your consultation. How do you communicate with your existing customers? Are you doing it, on the phone? Are you sending out mailers? Is it only when they come in? And in terms of digital marketing, are you using email marketing? Are you texting them? Are you sending them newsletters? Are you, getting their attention on social sites? Do you have a blog, right? Engage them in those conversations, and then ask them how often are they communicating, right? In many cases, I find that businesses love it when customers contact them for a project or a job. However, after the job is completed, there's no more communication. There's no more dialogue. Now, there might be posting and the client might be reading, but they're not really engaged, right? So ask them, are you never communicating with your client unless they come in for a service? Or are you reaching out to them weekly, monthly, quarterly, right? Annually? Find out what is important to them and help them identify ways that they can keep their clients engaged, right? So it really does come down to content, 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 right? And it really has to come down to the subject line. And think of yourself, you are a consumer. What makes you open up an email from a business? It's most likely related to the subject line, right? So it's got to be a relevant subject line, compelling, and there's got to be a call to action in the email. It can't be all over the place. It can't be about multiple things. It's got to be one single call to action in that email. Maybe it's a promotion. Maybe it's a special. Maybe it's, hey, we just wrote a blog. Maybe it's something informational. Informational emails are great because it builds that credibility and trust that the clients aren't always just getting messaged when it's about a promotion or a sale. Okay, so if your company is an active blogger, use it as a way to drive traffic to the blog, right? And then about timing, right? Write content in advance, but schedule it at optimal times, right? Tuesdays at noon have a high open rate for campaigns, and that's something to consider. Monday mornings, a very low rate because after the weekend, many people are at work and they're checking their email inbox, right? So think about that as well when you're consulting with your client, as well as when you're sending out emails to your clients as well. And of course, know your audience. How can you add some local flavor? We were at a local baseball game last weekend, or it was great to see everyone at the Rib Fest over the weekend. It was so great to see you at the Old Home Days, and hope you visited our table, right? Add that local flair. Local flavor is very, very important. Again, we talked about segmenting the audience and having relevant content to that audience. So it comes down to content, right? Content marketing. In many cases, businesses don't know what to write. They know they should write, but they don't know what to write. They don't write a blog article, they're not posting on social media, and they're not sending out email marketing campaigns because they don't know what to write or when to write it, or maybe they're not great writers, right? Let's face it. They might be in a profession where they're not always writing. Maybe they're great with their hands and they're doing a lot of work. However, they're not writers in terms of sending out professional emails, and they might not have someone on staff. So content marketing becomes part of the conversation, right? And think of this. Nearly half of buyers viewed 3 to 5 pieces of content before ever engaging with a sales rep. Think about if you're doing research for a home, you're doing research for a new hot water heater, you're doing research for a new car, you're doing research for a new pair of shoes, right? Most likely you're doing some searching, you're looking at product reviews, you're looking at information, you're looking at flyers, you're doing maybe some engaging with your friends or colleagues about a product. You're trying to identify some content before you ever engage with a representative from a company, right? So it's important to share this information with your clients as a way to let them know that they should be pushing out content that is relevant to their clients. And how about this? 96% of B2B buyers, right? Business to business buyers want content with more input from industry thought leaders. You think about someone that might be trying to purchase technology or software or a new computer system or IT solutions or network solutions, maybe maybe a new ingredient that they want to put in a new product, right? Almost 100% of those buyers want that content from a industry leader before they're ever going to make a purchase. So very, very important to provide content. And one of the biggest things that a business can do is offer a blog, right? So 53% of marketers say blog content creation is the top inbound marketing priority. Rather than cold calling or direct sales or knocking on doors or making cold calls on the phone, most businesses would prefer clients come to them. Clients that want their product or service that come to them, and that's going to be due to content, right? And again, more than half of the marketers say that blogging is critical to the success of inbound marketing. Companies that publish 16 or more blog posts per month, 4 per week, almost 1 per day, or 1 every other day, got 4.5 times more leads than companies that publish only, say 4 times a month, once a week. Once a week is not enough, right? Multiple times per week is important. When it comes to social media, we know that the world is social. The world is there on social media, scrolling 5 hours a day through social media posts, right? So do they have a social strategy? Ask them. Consult with them. Are you on social networks? Which networks are you on? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Are you on Instagram? Are you on Pinterest? Are you on Snapchat? Right? Are you on LinkedIn? Are you on YouTube? Where do you find you have the best engagement? Is your content valuable? Are people responding to you? Are they liking you? Are they commenting? Right? Are you posting consistently? Consistency and frequency is so important, right? So are they pushing out enough content on the social networks? Would they like to be on more social platforms, but they don't have the time or don't know how to manage it? Are they engaging and interacting with their followers? And do they have a call to action, right? Ask these questions. Very, very important for them to see that social media is an integral part of digital marketing right now. So we've got 2 programs in social media, and one is social media management, right? So ask them, are they leveraging social media, and are they consistent with posting and responding, right? So we, MA Web Centers, offer smooth, results-driven package in which specialists will create profiles on social media sites of their choice and post written and image-driven content each week and respond to comments or questions that might arise on highly viewed sites. So important just to have a voice on there nonstop. And we're going to talk a little bit more about online reputation management here in a bit, but our online reputation management service includes a monthly scan of the online world for any negative reviews and clear reporting of activity on consumer review sites that could affect revenue, profits, and foot traffic. So let's talk a little bit more about reputation, right? They've got to be visible on review sites, right? Sites like Yelp, like Google+, like Angie's List, TripAdvisor, and there's so many that are more industry specific, like Urban Spoon, maybe Open Table, Zagat, all related to restaurants. How about TripAdvisor or Roomkey? Or in terms of the auto world, we got Edmunds.com. How about City Search, Priceline for travel, Hotels.com, Dealer Rate, right? All these different sites, thousands of sites, have contact information on them for every single business. You look at Yellow Pages, you look at Local Edge, you look at Dex Media. All of them have this content because they are trying to rank high in search engines themselves. So if they have all these listings on the internet with website links and relevant information, when people are searching for a keyword product or service in an area or a specific business, that's why these review sites are showing up in the search results, right? So make sure their business is listed on the sites and make sure they monitor the activity, right? Ask customers to review on these platforms, right? So these are conversation pieces that you can have a dialogue with your client or candidate about. Are they on listing sites and is the information correct? Have they looked at it? Are they on review sites and what are their reviews saying? And of course, what are their customers saying about them, or what are their customers or potential customers saying about their competitors, right? So at that point, you've gathered a lot of information. You've shared some quick tips and tricks and things that you've learned from our trainings, or you can go right through our marketing manual and resources like our blogs and our videos on YouTube, as well as our B2B catalog, right? It's a PDF or a tangible catalog that you can order from unfranchise.com. In US here, you can flip through the pages, beautiful color catalog, or again, a PDF that you can scroll through on your tablet or print as well. And of course, you want to leverage what we're putting out for you for MA Web Centers, right? Blog mawebcenters.com is here. You should all subscribe to this channel, as well as blog mawc411.com, because that's more training for you, the web center owner. But you subscribe to both blogs, so anytime there's an article that's posted, you get alerted, you get an email to let you know. But here it is. We offer businesses a comprehensive solution. You have the local relationship. So the blog posts that you can leverage are all about digital marketing, industry-specific articles, internet marketing recommendations, best practices. You can become the thought leader that you're sharing information and pointing them in the direction. So you may or may not know the information, but you're pointing your client or candidate in the direction of great content to help educate them. And it builds credibility, and trust and expertise in their perception of you, that perceived value, they're more likely to schedule appointments thereafter when they realize what you're offering them in terms of education and content, right? So from there, once you've done the consultation, the easiest close and best way to close is to edify our product specialists. What I'd like to do now is to schedule an appointment with one of our product specialists, or maybe a web specialist, or social media specialist, a search engine specialist, to really talk to you about how we can help you rank on search engines and really help you leverage social media, or really help you cut down on the amount of time managing social media, right? Put weight in the referral, letting them know that you know the expert. You may not be able to answer all the questions, but you can put them in touch with the specialist to answer any and all of their questions, as well as when they ask the price question, how much does it cost? Well, it's in the product catalog, it's in the B2B catalog, but also you can say, well, based on your needs, for me, I'm not really sure if you should be looking at a local or regional program, or I'm not sure how much you should be looking at in terms of campaigns on Google AdWords, but those are questions that you can talk to the specialist about in an appointment, and they'll make sure they propose and tell you exactly how much it would cost and what kind of traction that you can expect from that program. Put the value in the appointment where they're going to learn all the information. And, I can guarantee you, if nothing else, you'll learn how to better market your business. Whether or not timing is right now, that's up to you to decide. But what's better for you, Thursday or Friday, mornings, afternoons, or evenings, right? And then schedule the appointment right in your sales appointment wizard as a DMP appointment. Right? Now, if it's a website appointment, you're going to schedule a website appointment, and in the notes say they're also interested in SEO or also interested in online reputation management, and they'll address that as well. So what you bring up or what you recommend is all going to depend upon the research and what you learn when you talk to them in the consultation. And again, the consultation could be over a cup of coffee, could be over lunch, could be over dinner, could be on the phone, whatever is convenient as a way to engage them in a dialogue in relationship to their marketing efforts that are going to help their business. And the most important thing, don't forget the follow-up, right? You're investing a lot of time and energy into these clients. You're also engaging a lot of time to generate relationships with brand new people. And if you want to have a great client in the future, and you want to have a great client that refers you business in the future, you want to be persistent, right? Not pushy, not pitching, but persistent, right? So don't forget the follow-up. Always put it in your calendar. Always mark a date when you're going to follow up in your calendar. If it's 4 weeks out, find a date, 4 weeks out, put a note, follow up with Rick from the HVAC company, right? In 3 months, pull it up in your calendar. Say, what days are usually best for you? Tuesdays, great. I'm just going to put a note in here on a Tuesday in August that I'm going to follow up with you. I hope everything's going well. In the meantime, certainly don't hesitate if you have any questions before then, but I'll make sure that I reach out in August and see if there's a better time, right? So again, not only don't forget the follow-up, but schedule the follow-up, because what gets scheduled and what gets written down gets done. So if you're doing your own follow-up right beyond the DMP product specialists, right, you got to stay organized. You got to make sure that you have a way of following up and you know exactly what you've spoken about in previous conversations. You can use the new UFP app, right? The UFP app, you can download that from the Android or the Apple Store. The UFP app, you can put your Web Center clients in there and your candidates in there. That's a great tool. You can also use your Web Center. In your Web Center has a contact manager, right? That's where we're going to pull the emails from for your email marketing campaigns, but you can also use that database, but anything that's comfortable for you. But the most important thing is that you have something, even if it's a pen and paper and a notebook, some way to track your follow-ups, right? And of course, when you're scheduling times, find the best times to reach them. I know that lunchtime is probably really busy for you. Are you better to have a conversation before that or after that? Are you better at 10 a.m. or 1 p.m., right? If you're talking to, say, a restaurant owner, or if you're talking to someone that might be a roofer, a siding company, a builder, right in the middle of the day is when they're working, right? They usually take off around 3 or 4 o'clock. Ask them if you can contact them at the end of the day. Or if you're working full time as well, how about contacting them before the day starts? Hey, I'd like to give you a call on the way to work. I want to find out if before you get to the job site, what time do you usually get there? Around 8 o'clock? Great. Let me call you around 7 or 7:30. We'll have a quick conversation. Hey, if you can, try and meet them for a cup of coffee. I'd like to meet you at the local coffee shop before we head off to our day. And if they say that that's not going to work, you say, great, tell you what, I'm going to buy a cup of coffee. You're probably going to get a cup of coffee. I'll give you a phone call and we'll have a phone call over a cup of coffee, right? Be funny about it. Do something that's going to be a little bit unique, a little bit different, something memorable, but also that guarantees to show that you care about the relationship with that individual. Again, be persistent but not pushy and respect their timing, right? Ask for their preferred time to call. What's good for you may not be good for them, right? And likewise, they might suggest a time and you say, you know what, that's really not a good time for me. I'm picking my kids up from school, or that's not a good time for me because I'm doing a family dinner. They're going to respect that. And you say, could we do maybe half hour before, or could we do tomorrow at that time? All right, let them know that your time is valuable as well, and they will respect that. If they hands down say that's the only time I can talk, then you've got a decision to make and whether or not you're going to invest that time. And I would recommend, for the client, a 10 or 15-minute phone call. You can certainly find the time to do that. Okay, and be specific. Let them know what you plan to talk about. In our initial conversation, I'd love to talk to you a little bit more about what I found online, ways that can help you be found in the searches better. But I also want to learn a little bit more about you and ask you some questions on where your business is going. Right? Let them know it's about them, but also that you've got some things that you'd like to share with them. Certainly in the follow-ups, if you've already had some appointments, what I'd like to do in next week or 2 weeks or in a month, I like to follow up and see how things are going with your social media campaigns, right? You want to let them know what you're talking about, because if you just say, hey, I'd like to call you, they're going to be like, okay, great, I'll let you. But when you call, they're not going to remember, and they're going to say, why are they calling me? What are they trying to sell me this time? However, if you plant that little seed, there's a higher chance that they might remember that, but also you can schedule an email to go out real quick prior to calling them in 4 weeks and say, hey, I know I plan on calling you next week. Is Tuesday at noon still good? Right? We wanted to make sure that we talked about your social media campaign. And it will trigger some thoughts and memories about the conversation that you had. And again, they're going to respect you. It's all about the relationship. It's all about the relationship and adding value, building value, and even if it's perceived value, you have a lot to offer these businesses. Again, it's all about increasing revenue, decreasing expenses, and streamlining business practices. You are a consultant to help them, and it's a solution. It's not just a sale to make money. It's about happy clients, right? I know that we don't have a ton of retail profit in some of the digital products because they go to the actual service. However, when it comes down to having a happy client, they're more likely to add on more products and services with you. They're more likely to have a new design package or new website with you. And more than that, it's residual ongoing income. When they're paying their fee every single month for whatever campaign that is, that's an ongoing retail profit like on auto ship, including BV. It's tremendous value for you as a web center owner as well. So let's not forget about that as well. So the same weekly action items as last week. We're really blitzing it last week and this week about following up and adding value, building share of customer. Again, Monday, create a client and candidate list. You should already have that from last week. You should already have that list. Maybe you added some to the list, or maybe you've got a huge database of clients and candidates and you had to split it up, and that's fine. You're going to create an email campaign to go out. You're going to shoot them an email, let them know you're thinking about them. Maybe you're using the template for Google AdWords, or maybe you're going to use the one for Facebook. You're going to do your research, right? Do your current research, and it gives you time to do more research if they agree to an appointment or a phone call, right? So Tuesday and Wednesday, making calls and reaching out to schedule appointments, inviting them to share a cup of coffee, have them meet you for lunch, or again, just a 10 or 15-minute phone call if schedules are busy. Thursday, you're going to focus on sharing the resources, continuing the following ups, answering voicemails and emails, conducting consultations, maybe scheduling your DMP appointments, and of course, doing any additional research that you might know. And use Friday as a day, which is really light and easy to keep the relationship going, to follow up, right? Follow up Friday. Send out any additional links, articles, videos. Hey, based on our conversation or the research I did, I thought you'd also enjoy this quick article about hair salons and how they can drive more traffic from social media. Or here's some best practices that I found for legal professionals, and here's an article on our blog. Or I was watching this video about search engine optimization that I thought you'd really gain some value out of it. So let me shoot that to you, and I'd like to talk to you next week about your search engine campaigns, right? Let them know what it's about. So again, follow up on Friday is a great way to make sure that you're scheduling appointments for the following week. Again, this is not going to end here in these 2 weeks. This is just to push the information out to you as a web center owner on ways that you can increase value and add on more products and services any time of the year. It doesn't have to be just these weeks here in April or in our sprint series coming up in May. It's something to just get your juices flowing, get you thinking about how you can start these conversations or have these conversations in the future with your existing clients or your candidates. So again, the weekly action items, the biggest word is action, right? Don't spend the day doing a ton of research and then not make a phone call. Don't spend your day doing a ton of research and just sending an email and no emails come back. If emails are coming back, they're skipping them, they're not reading them. Don't just be posting on social media. Engage in conversation, dialogue. And in many cases, that means that you've got to have to physically show up to their location, or it might be a phone call or a text message, depending on your relationship, that's going to engage them in that dialogue. Again, it's all about the relationships. And more than that, when it's your client, it's all about communication. More than anything, it's about communication, and find the best way to communicate and get their permission on the best method and best timing, and you won't be able to stop it. The relationship will build, and eventually they will do more and more business with you as the years go on. You know, you've got a client for 5, 6, 7 years. They're going to be with you 10 to 20 years. As long as you keep the conversation going, you keep the relationship going, and you continue to add value in their relationship, always focusing on them, right? We'd like to use the acronym WIFM, W-I-F-M, what's in it for me? And that's what they're thinking. Anytime that you contact them, what's in it for me? If we're going to sit down for a conversation, my time is valuable, what's in it for me? Why are we meeting? Is this just for you, or is this for both of us, or is it for me? It's very, very important to make them feel like the most important person when you are having that dialogue with them. So you're going to ask a lot of questions, be interested in what they're saying. Don't be interesting by always sharing the information. You want to really engage and be listening to what they're sharing with you, because you might pick up on a lot of different pieces of information that might be subsequent conversations in the future based on what they share with you. So the Step Up campaign is all about dialogue. It's all about communication. It's all about adding value with your existing clientele, but also with your existing candidate list, people that you've already been talking to that are already in what we call the funnel or the pipeline. And again, they might not be current candidates or clients for you, but that doesn't mean they're not going to be in the future. So you want to engage them in conversation. So I want to thank you for being on tonight. We're going to open it up for some questions if anyone has any, but this will be recorded and pushed out onto our YouTube channel as well as on the group for future reference. But again, it's all about lead generation and content marketing and engagement when it comes to these add-on products and services.